tomorrow comes, we hold each other once again. I've been waiting for this day so long. I searched for years, I need you here with me.
Hi everyone, Morten Alstad here. Welcome to my channel. Just wanted to do a quick video, very sort of right away after reading the sad news that Paul Di'Anno just passed away today or last night. I'm not entirely sure. Paul Di'Anno was, of course, the original recorded singer of Iron Maiden. Now, Iron Maiden, of course, has meant a lot to me over many years now. I would venture to say 40 or 41 years since I bought Peace of Mind. And so I wasn't introduced to Iron Maiden back when Paul was the singer. I could have been. My brother or sister or both, in one of their attempts to get their kid brothers to go to a rock concert, sabotaged by my mother, had tried to get me to Drammenshallen to see Kiss. And the supporting act then was Iron Maiden, and that would have been my introduction to the band, but that was not to be. And after I bought A Peace of Mind in either, I think 84, partly because of a very cool cover for a teenage boy. I think I turned 13 when I got it. And I then went out and bought the next really cool Iron Maiden cover that I could find, which was, of course, Killers. Now, I remember being a bit surprised when I heard it because it sounded so different to Peace of Mind. And then I sort of looked at the cover and who was in the band, etc. And hey, that's not the same singer as on Peace of Mind. This was, of course, before internet and so on. So, later on I learned all about Paul Di'Anno, having been a member of Iron Maiden for their debut album, Iron Maiden, and Killers, before being replaced by Bruce Dickinson. Now, I'm not going to claim that I followed up on Paul Di'Anno in any sense. After this, again, before the days of internet, but I did buy one of his, let's call them solo albums on cassette, which I still have. It's back down in Denmark. And I also bought that again last winter in a rather odd record shop we have here in Oslo that had just moved. So I went to check out their new locality, and I found that Paul Di'Anno album on vinyl, and I thought, yeah, I'll grab that, and I've listened to it a couple of times. I had it in my sort of things I ought to listen to again, because now it's been a while, crate or whatever, and never got around to it before reading the news today. So I know he'd been going through some serious health problems. And the funny thing is, I follow and I subscribe to for my metal news or Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and so on. Use Saxon, the Metal Pilgrim. Excellent channel if you don't know it. And he'd recently talked about and showed a video, which is now 6 or 8 weeks ago, maybe, where. And I think it's the first time was the first time, where Bruce Dickinson and Paul Diano is talking to each other in a video and meeting up and talking. And I think Paul was. I think this was from Croatia, and Paul had played or was going to play the day or two after Iron Maiden in sort of the same general vicinity. So that was sort of odd, and there were speculations about maybe there being some sort of 50th anniversary thing. Paul being involved in that a little bit. He'd gone through some operations. He was still performing, of course, unfortunately, in a wheelchair up until the very end. Funny. From a Scandinavian perspective, me being here in Oslo, Norway, his band for the last quite many years. I think it's been solely made up of Norwegians, and So just wanted to quickly show you, of course, my Paul Diano related stuff. I'll just stick with vinyl, the wonderful Iron Maiden, debut album. Which was heavy metal, hard rock, of course, but also with this, I think Iron Maiden themselves will argue that that's not the case, but I would say that there was a punkish element to the sound and the way Iron Maiden sort of looked at the very beginning there, and in my opinion, anyway, that was largely because of Paul. Second album, we had the first changing of the troops, where, of course, Dennis Stratton was replaced by my favorite Iron Maiden member, Adrian Smith. And I don't know, sometimes back in the day, this album wasn't hailed as such a great album compared to the debut. This is my favorite Iron Maiden album alongside Somewhere in Time. So this is, of course, Killers. I have my old EMI Fame Killers vinyl still. It's in a frame up above a framed photograph of the band. A photograph post 2000 when I was a member of their fan club. So no Paul Diano in that, unfortunately. But I love this album, and I think this is very close to being, if not my favorite album cover of all time. There, with Eddie looking more sinister, and just Derek did such an amazing job with this cover. The next stuff that I have this Iron Maiden Live +1, which is a Japanese print, and it's got Sanctuary, Phantom of the Opera, Drifter, and Women in Uniform, recorded live at the Marquee Club in July 1980. So there's the back of that. And I just wanted to show you, I have this on 7-inch as well, but this is, of course, the wonderful Sanctuary, Prowler with Drifter, and I Got the Fire. I love this cover. This is so cool. Again, Eddie looked so sinister in those early days. And this is something I picked up. This was the anniversary picture disc of the original debut there. And then we have the final recording with Iron Maiden with Paul was made in Japan, and it's got only 4 tracks on this, which I think is a copy of the Japanese intended. It was later released, I think, with 5 tracks, maybe. This was then, of course, Steve Harris, Clive Burr, Paul, who has also passed away, Paul Diano, Eddie, Dave Murray, and Adrian Smith. The original cover for this, the band had not intended for this to be released, and I think it was Rod Smallwood who sort of got I guess a memo from EMI Electrola that they wanted a live album of some sorts. They had to get something live out there, and but he saw the original cover for this, and it depicted Eddie having cut off Paul Di'Anno's head and holding it, and Rod wisely nixed that because they were already in the process of replacing Paul at this stage, and that I think that may have given the band a bit of extra backlash there, because replacing a singer who's recorded 2 albums and have a fan base, of course, is not necessarily a good idea. And finally, my one and only Paul Di'Anno. This is Battle Zone, which is, like I said, I picked it up last winter, about a year ago, here in Oslo, and I listened to the cassette a lot, many years. Then I didn't have a cassette player, so I was very happy to get this, and I guess now it's even a bit more special to me. And yeah, yet another musical hero who's left us, and yeah, thanks for the music, Paul, and to all other Iron Maiden fans out there, and hope you listen to a little bit of extra Iron Maiden today, maybe. Well, I probably don't need to proceed. Funny thing, I was sitting by the river there, and I was listening to Iron Maiden's latest album when I read the news, and it's because I've been going through a sort of extra listening to Iron Maiden a lot, because I made a lot of YouTube shorts with Iron Maiden music and so on. So, but yeah, I always keep up with what's happening with them, of course, and I opened 4 or 5 websites and Wikipedia, and then finally I saw also it was a 6-minute-old article on a Norwegian online newspaper that Paul had passed away. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye. Up the irons.